What if I told you that these 10-pound dumbbells could build more muscle than the guy in the gym benching 225? You'd probably think I'm crazy, right? Well, stick around because I'm going to show you a Japanese training method that's been used by Navy SEALs, NASA, and even Olympic athletes that completely flips everything you know about muscle building on its head. Look, I've been in the fitness industry for over 2 decades, and I thought I knew everything about building muscle. But when I discovered this Japanese technique, developed in the late 1960s by Dr. Yoshiaki Sato in Tokyo, it completely changed how I understood muscle building. Here's the backstory. Sato was sitting during a long Buddhist ceremony in 1966. He noticed his calves felt tight and pumped from the sitting. It was really happening due to the reduced blood flow, which led him to think that this might have beneficial effects on the muscles. He researched for the next 5 years and developed the blood flow restriction training techniques that are now used in modern training, and I'm going to share with you in this video. Here's the thing, most of us have been brainwashed into thinking that if we want to build muscle, we must always lift heavy weights. But what happens when your joints start screaming at you? What happens when you get injured? What happens when you're 45, 55, 65 years old and your body just can't handle the beating anymore? I see this all the time with guys in my Fit Father community. They want to stay strong, they want to build muscle, but their knees hurt, their shoulders have old injuries, and they're tired of feeling beat up after every single workout. Well, what if I told you there's a way to build muscle using weights that are 70% lighter than what you're currently lifting? The technique is called blood flow restriction training, or BFR for short, and it's about to change everything you think you know about muscle building. These are blood flow restriction training cuffs, made by a brand called SUJI. You wrap them high on the arms or your legs, and they inflate to a pressure that partially restricts the blood that's returning from your muscles to your heart, which traps more blood in the muscles, creating metabolic stress, so light exercise actually feels like heavy training with less joint strain, with great gains, and with faster recovery. Now, before you freak out, this isn't actually dangerous to restrict blood flow in this way for most people, when done properly with the right pressure and the right timing. It's actually been very well studied in the medical literature for rehabilitation and muscle building for decades. As we partially restrict the blood flow that's leaving your muscle, metabolites like lactate build up in the muscle tissue. And that metabolic stress tells your body to recruit more muscle fibers to grow using light loads. We can keep it on for a few minutes and then release. I'm going to show you exactly how I do BFR training with my favorite cuffs from SUJI. So what's actually happening inside your body? When you restrict that venous return, that blood that's going back to your heart, you create what's called a hypoxic environment inside your muscles. Basically, you're tricking your body into thinking it's working way harder than it actually is because you're truly lifting 5 to 10 pound weights. Your brain gets the signal that your muscles are under extreme stress, so it starts recruiting those powerful type 2 muscle fibers, the ones that usually get activated when you're lifting really heavy weights or with high velocity. But here's the kicker. You're doing this with weights that are only 20 to 40% of your 1 rep max. That's like curling a 5 to 10 dumbbell instead of a 35 pound one. And studies have shown that BFR training can produce similar muscle growth to traditional heavy lifting. We're talking about 2 to 3 times greater muscle gains compared to just doing 5-pound curls endlessly when you add the component of blood flow restriction. And get this, one study found 78% faster recovery time compared to traditional training, which makes sense because you're creating a strong stimulus in your body without seriously damaging your muscle tissue like you would if you did 4 heavy sets of bench press to failure. A second benefit is you can train more frequently because you're not creating the same level of muscle damage as heavy lifting, you're just getting the stimulus from the lighter BFR training. So you can do BFR almost daily. In fact, some of our clients do it twice a day, once during their workout and once while they're standing at their desk or sitting at their desk for a little bit extra benefit. Third, it's incredibly time efficient. You could finish your workout with 3 to 4 minutes of BFR training on your arms or your legs, or do a workout that's exclusively BFR that only takes 15 to 20 minutes. And you're getting a training effect that would normally take around an hour of traditional lifting. And here's something really cool. BFR training has also been shown to increase growth hormone levels and improve cardiovascular health. Your body releases nitric oxide and improves circulation in response to the blood flow restriction. So you're literally getting healthier and stronger at the same time. Now let me show you how to do this type of training with the SUJI BFR cuffs. These are by far the favorite cuffs that I've ever used in terms of the easy use and the quality of their product. And to be completely transparent, these cuffs were gifted me by the brand, and I can honestly say that I'm loving using them in my training, and I stand behind the fantastic quality of their product. Every time I use them and do a session, I feel it afterwards. If you want to do BFR training, use pneumatic cuffs like SUJI. Don't improvise with knee wraps or simple bands or a rope. Those DIY wraps, you can't control the pressure, which often leads to going way too tight, which can risk serious harm like compartment syndrome. The reason I love these cuffs from SUJI so much is that they solve this problem by calibrating to your ideal occlusion pressure for your specific body. And then the app runs guided sessions so that they inflate and deflate on a time cycle, so you get the metabolic training effect with the lighter loads and less joint stress, and the system literally handles all the pressure changes for you automatically and tracks your progress, so you don't need anything, just curl those 5 to 10 pound dumbbells. Here's exactly how I use the cuffs from SUJI to do BFR training on my arms. I open up the app, and the cuffs will inflate to around 60% pressure, which feels very snug, but not unbearably painful. And then I'll grab 5 to 10 pound weights and do 4 sets of curls, trying to do 30 reps in each set with 30 to 60 seconds of rest in between sets while keeping the cuffs on and inflated. And after all 4 sets are done, that's about 7 to 9 minutes under pressure. And then I'll deflate for around 2 to 3 minutes before switching to the triceps or to another body part like the legs. Blood flow restriction training has been used in medical rehabilitation for decades. It's used by the Department of Defense, NASA, professional sports teams, and major universities, and when done correctly with the proper equipment like SUJI, it's incredibly safe. And even if you don't use this as your main form of exercise, it can be helpful anytime you have an injury and you can't train heavy. It's also an amazing way to get a workout in when you're traveling, you don't have access to a full gym with weights, or even throw them on when you're working at a desk. That said, there are some people who should not do BFR training. If you have cardiovascular issues, blood clotting disorders, or if you're pregnant, definitely check with your doctor first. It's also really only applicable for arms and legs. You can't put the SUJI around your neck or chain your chest and back. That is a bad idea. Look, I'm not saying you should completely abandon heavy lifting if you still can do it safely. But if you're dealing with joint pain, if you're over 40 and feeling tired of being beaten up, or if you just want to try a science-based form of lifting that can revolutionize your training, BFR might be exactly what you need. I've seen so many people over 40 add serious muscle using blood flow restriction training methods, and they're doing it without destroying their joints or spending hours in the gym. So I want to present this information for you so you can digest it and hopefully try BFR training in your own life. If you want to learn more about the specific SUJI BFR cuffs that I recommend, I put some links in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you're ready to try a completely different approach to muscle building that actually works with your body instead of against it, hit the subscribe button and join us here on the Fit Father Project YouTube channel, and you'll get notified when I publish new videos to help you take your training to the next level, address your nutrition, your mindset, and help you stay strong and healthy for your family long term. So, what are your muscle building goals right now? How's your training set up? Have you ever tried BFR? Let me know in the comment section below. Until then, train smart, not just hard. I'm Dr. Anthony Balduzzi, and I'll see you in the next video.